Hello friends. In today's documentary we will talk about the mystery of black triangle-shaped UFOs. In the larger context of the UFO enigma, another still unsolved mystery stands out. Why are there so many reports describing strange, triangular-shaped, dark, silent craft the size of a football field or larger? What exactly are these? And why do so many of them float or move slowly and methodically, leaving no visible trails in the sky? In the years after the U.S. Air Force coined the term unidentified flying object in 1952, reports often referred to UFOs generically as flying saucers. But witnesses then, and ever since, have described a huge range of shapes: plates, or two plates stuck together, eggs, hats, cigars, boomerangs, light bulbs, even Tic Tac candies. Among the most commonly reported were V-shaped, arrowhead-shaped, or triangular. David Marler, UFO researcher and author of Triangular UFOs, an assessment of the situation, says he has reviewed more than 17,000 case files involving unidentified triangular craft, sometimes called black triangles. Whether these apparitions represent advanced U.S. spy ships, as some speculate, or objects of unknown origin, their purpose remains a mystery. Given that they are always observed simply floating, Marler says, they could be engaged in surveillance, scanning, or topography analysis activities. In the 1950s, 1960s, and 1970s, reports of triangular UFOs began to appear in all corners of the United States and beyond. In the 1960s, at the height of the Cold War UFO fever, mysterious flying triangles were reported over the states of Connecticut, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Texas, as well as over London, Madrid, and Czechoslovakia. In 1969, two National Guard pilots tracked a triangular-shaped object, 50 feet across for 20 minutes over San Juan, Puerto Rico, until they ran out of fuel and had to return to base. Many of these incidents would be attributed by officials to atmospheric conditions, weather balloons, or other everyday sources, but some remained unexplained. Between 1983 and 1986, a notable series of mass apparitions occurred in New York's Hudson Valley, about 80 kilometers north of New York City. One of the witnesses, Kevin Soravilla, a retired lieutenant with the Yorktown Police Department, described a huge, silent craft, 100 feet from wingtip to wingtip, hovering at low altitude, which tilted and made a 45-degree turn before suddenly speeding off. Soravilla said he called Stewart Air Force Base in nearby Newburgh to find out if one of its C-5 transport planes, then the largest and heaviest plane in the world, had been lifted off the ground in that night. None had flown. Later that year, a huge triangular UFO hovering over a New York street caused a huge traffic jam as dozens of motorists stopped to look at the object in the sky. Similar incidents continued in the region for several years. It has exceeded the limits of conventional aviation. Many witnesses describe what they perceive to be the extraordinary abilities of the ships. One evening in late November 1989, two police officers on patrol in Eupen, Belgium, not far from the German border, noticed a strange triangular object overhead. In the days that followed, hundreds of Belgians reported similar UFOs, described in the press as a triangular object with a bright red central light or as a flying platform with three huge projectors. In March 1990, the Belgian Air Force sent two F-16 fighter jets to take a closer look at a triangle that had been spotted on radar. Their onboard computers recorded the object's remarkable maneuverability and its ability to accelerate from 1,000 kilometers per hour to 1,800 kilometers per hour in seconds. In March 1997, Phoenix, Arizona became a UFO hotspot when about 30,000 residents saw something strange in the sky. Some reports said the mysterious object was V-shaped, but many described it as triangular. It was triangular in shape and had three lights. It was moving very slowly, declared an 11-year-old boy at the time. A former airline pilot described the object as the size of 25 airliners, and it didn't make a sound. Others have described it as the size of 3 football fields. The dispatch tapes reveal the shock and amazement expressed by the various law enforcement teams, who were all in radio contact with each other. The U.S. UFO Reporting Center, which catalogs more than 8,100 triangle-shaped UFO sightings since the early 1960s, lists more than 200 in the first half of 2020. The news behind the black triangles. Many of these sightings have been repeatedly investigated by UFO researchers. Belgian triangles have been explained as stars, planets, balloons, or airships, including as episodes of mass hallucination. The lights above Phoenix have been thought to be flares fired during an Air National Guard exercise, although this theory is widely dismissed. Some say the New York apparitions were a hoax perpetrated by local pilots flying in formation. One explanation raises the possibility of the airship effect. This is the theory that people who see unrelated lights in the sky can fool themselves into thinking they are all part of the same object. 3 lights? It must be a triangular spaceship. 3 lights hundreds of meters away? It must be a very large triangular spaceship. Other speculation has focused on top-secret aircraft. Although the U.S. government has remained largely silent on the matter, it is well known that the Air Force has been experimenting with triangle and V-shaped aircraft for decades, including the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber and the F-117 Nighthawk, and possibly others kept quiet. The adventures near the clandestine spy plane test facility at Area 51 in Nevada may indeed be related to the test flights of some of these machines. However, the extraordinary size described by many witnesses is puzzling. And for Marler and others, the volume of sightings and the consistency of the aircraft's behavior, combined with their inexplicable sudden accelerations, rule out any military technology known today.